Hello, my friends, it's Don, and today I want to talk to you about dressing for the job interview and job interview etiquette. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Don, come on. I've got this down. But trust me, there are countless people who keep missing out on their dream jobs simply because of their bad fashion choices or their interview etiquette let them down. So, I want to dive right in with some super valuable tips on your interview attire and just how to conduct yourself in the interview. And stick around at the end because I have two special nuggets of wisdom that I bet most of you have never heard of before. These are game changers. So let's get started. First up, dressing for the job interview. Picture this. You've got your business casual look down to a T. You look fantastic in your suit or pencil skirt, just like a boss. But wait. Even though you're dressed to impress, it's painfully obvious that you hate wearing it. Yikes. Here's the deal. Your interview attire is the first thing a potential employer notices about you. I mean, it's like that silent language that speaks volumes about who you are. So let's make sure that it's saying all the right things about you. Now, you might be saying, Don, it's a virtual interview. I don't need to dress that fancy. You know what? In a lot of virtual interviews, you don't. All you really need is just a shirt. But with things getting back to normal, more interviews are being conducted face-to-face, especially second and third round interviews. I think first round interviews are probably always going to stay, over the phone or Skype. So let's move on here. So to start, consider your comfort. I mean, if you hate wearing suits and you can't stop fidgeting in the interview, it's a dead giveaway. So instead, research the company, check out how the employees are dressing on their website, and then aim for an outfit that's, somewhat comfortable and appropriate. For me, I don't wear suits all the time. I'm actually wearing a jacket in this video. But I don't wear a jacket all the time. Now, I actually wear a jacket that's very soft and it feels comfortable. But for me, walking around in a suit everywhere I go, it's a little stiff. So you got to remember that comfort equals confidence. And without that confidence, you can really just kiss that job opportunity goodbye because they're just going to sense that there's something wrong about you, when you're all tight in your suit. Now, you might be thinking, but Don, what if I have to wear a suit, or a dress, and I just hate it? Well, my friends, that's where the magic of preparation comes into play. So here's a 3-step plan. Lay out your outfit early. Check for rips, pet hair, stains. Make sure you get the pet hair off, really. Make sure it has no stains or wrinkles in it. Make sure it fits good. Make sure it's not too baggy. Make sure it's not too tight, because if it's too baggy, you're going to look sloppy. If it's too tight, you're going to be uncomfortable. So either one is a bad thing. And then practice wearing it. Walk around the house with it. Wear it the night before. Get comfortable in it. Don't eat dinner in it. You might get food on it. But wear it around as much as you can so that it becomes an extension of you. And look at yourself in the mirror. Look at how awesome you look. And then get that picture in your mind of how awesome you look. And then when you sit down to the interview, you know that they're going to be looking at you and you're going to know what they're seeing. Let's move on here to number 2. With all that comfort taken care of and you feel good with what you're wearing, don't let your outfit steal the show either. We all have our unique styles and our quirks, but during the interview, you want to keep those distractions to a minimum. So let your personality shine through in your answers and your questions, but not the clothes that you're wearing. You want to keep your clothes professional. You want to keep them, down a couple of notches so that they're not like super loud colors or anything else like that. Nowadays, a lot of things are happening over Zoom. So it's essential to keep all those distractions at bay. A white background works wonders to keep the focus on you. I always hate it when people interview in front of a bookcase, because a bookcase has all these different books with all these different colors, and then you have all of that behind you. And for me, that's just a huge distraction. If you notice my backgrounds, they're clear. That way, that allows you to focus on me, and that's deliberate. Other people where they're doing their Zoom in front of just a messy shelf, a messy bookcase, whatever it is. Your eyes are wandering. What's on their shelf? What's over there? And all the focus is off them. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you in the interview. You want the focus to be on you. And I would also avoid those automatic backgrounds. I know Skype has them where if you, let's say, you're shooting the interview in your bedroom, they'll let you do like a green screen thing and make it look like you're in an office. But those are kind of weird because they're doing it in real time. And if you're moving your hands, sometimes the camera can't keep up with that, and it just looks like you don't have any arms. It's weird. So be careful with those automatic ones, those automatic green screens. Check it out. Next up is makeup and smells. And when it comes to that, less is more. You see, perfumes and makeup, you want to keep them subtle to avoid any distractions or potential allergies. And lastly, luxury brands. A study from Northwestern University showed that luxury brands can sometimes hurt your perception in a job interview. So when in doubt, it's better to play it safe. I mean, if you're interviewing for, let's say, a $500,000 commodities trading position, maybe you want to wear the Armani suit. Or, maybe you're interviewing at a fashion magazine. I mean, you certainly don't want to wear a sweater that you bought at Kohl's. You remember the movie Devil Wears Prada? That kind of comes to mind there. So you want to dress the part. So if you are interviewing at a fashion magazine, a fashion retailer, whatever, dress the part. That means you're going to dress a little bit more, I don't want to say on the gaudy side, but you're going to dress a little bit more the part, probably more so than you would if you're interviewing at an accounting firm. And I'll tell you a little story here. I recently went to a conference, a personal development conference, and there was a guy by the name of Ed Milet. His name was not Ted, his name was Ed Milet. And he was talking about how he used to trade and sell financial services. But he was dead broke when he was doing it, and all he had was like a 1988 Honda Civic. And he'd pull up in that thing, and nobody was buying anything. So he went out and he bought a Mercedes. It wasn't a real Mercedes, it was a fake Mercedes. It was like actually, it was a Chrysler LeBaron that they patched up to make it look like a Mercedes. Anyways, because he pulled up in the Mercedes, he sold $700,000 worth of financial services that year. So, what you wear does play a role, but you just have to balance that with who you're selling to. And as the HR senior manager, Lizzie Ram, says, interviews are special events, and you need to put your effort into your attire. And now that you're dressed to impress, I just want to run down 6 interview etiquette tips with you to show you how to conduct yourself in the interview, because that can be a make or break factor in whether you land your dream job or not. So number 1, punctuality is key. You know what they say, if you're on time, you're late. So arrive at least 10 to 15 minutes early to show that you're eager and respectful of the time. Now that's for an in-person interview. Obviously, if you're doing a Zoom, don't show up 15 minutes early, but maybe 5. You can sit there in the queue. And then number 2, the art of small talk. The interviewer is human too, so engage in some light chit-chat, before diving into the nitty-gritty. And usually they'll help you break the ice and get you going on that, because they don't want you to be nervous there either. And then number 3, mind your body language. Sit up straight, maintain eye contact, and avoid crossing your arms. These simple cues can really convey confidence and openness. If you're just sitting there in the interview like this, that kind of sends a body language signal that you're kind of shutting down the conversation and that you're really not opening to listening to them, or all kinds of different stuff. So don't do that. All right, number 4, listen carefully. Show the interviewer that you're genuinely interested by actively listening and responding thoughtfully to their questions. That's so important. And then number 5, ask insightful questions. This is your chance to learn more about the company and then demonstrate your enthusiasm for the role. And don't be afraid to ask about, the company culture, growth opportunities, or even the interviewer's, favorite part of working there. And as a favor to you, courtesy, I actually have about 13 different questions that are in this book that you can download, and you get this for free from jobinterviewtools.com/top10. All right, let's move on here to number 6. Show gratitude. Before leaving, thank the interviewer for their time and express your excitement about the opportunity. This is going to leave them with a lasting impression. It's going to help you stand out from everybody else who didn't. And as I wrap this up, I want to share with you my last 2 things that were definitely going to increase your chances for the job. Number one, bring examples of your work, if applicable. I mean, this can be a portfolio presentation or, tangible evidence that showcases your skills and abilities. I mean, if you're interviewing for an art position or, in something in creative design, bring samples of your work. If you're, programming, bring some examples of your programs, unless they're, maybe it's hard to bring an example of code, but, bring an example of what that program does or looks like. Anything to help them to show to make your work tangible instead of just talking about it. And number two, follow up. Send a personalized thank you email within 24 hours that reiterates your interest in the position and appreciation for the interviewer's time. It's a simple yet effective way to stand out and keep your name fresh in their minds, because so many people don't do this. But if you send a follow-up note that says, hey, thanks for your time. I'm really interested in the position. I really like everything you guys are doing here. I'm really excited about it. Looking forward to the next steps. And there you have it, my friend, a comprehensive guide to interview attire and etiquette. And remember, the key to success is preparation and confidence. So put your best foot forward and get ready to land your dream job. And that's all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If there's anything else, any other topics you would like to see, leave it in the comments below. And I wish you all the best on your next job interview, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.